Welcome to Monday's Mental Mistakes. This week we're looking at the clustering illusion. The clustering illusion is the tendency to see clusters or streaks in random data as being significant. That is, when a series of results cluster together, we tend to see this as meaningful. The clustering illusion makes us more likely to see chance results as indicating a trend. At the same time, we're unlikely to miss actual trends as being merely random outcomes. Here's a simple example. Suppose you flip a coin 10 times in a row, and you happen to get 5 heads in a row. 5 out of 10 seems a lot, particularly in a row. So is this reasonable evidence that the coin is biased? If you feel like it might be, then congratulations. You suffer from the clustering illusion, like the rest of us. In this example, the actual probability of getting a run of 5 heads in a row in 10 coin tosses is actually about 10%. An event with a 10% probability is hardly unlikely enough that it should cause us to question the fairness of the coin. A simple way of summarising this is the idea that in a city of 1 million people, 1,000,000 to 1 chances happen once a day. The principal way to counter the clustering illusion is to be sceptical of any claim of significance that is not statistically demonstrated. Humans are so poor at being able to distinguish significant patterns from random noise that we have developed an entire branch of mathematics to do just that, statistics. Whenever there's a cluster or pattern of events, the first question we need to ask is whether it is just a random occurrence or whether it is actually meaningful. And while we can make educated guesses, we need to recognise that we are biased towards seeing meaning when it's not actually there. The clustering illusion is focusing on a subset of data and noticing a correlation that doesn't apply to the entirety of the data. For example, sports people often have periods of good or bad performance, which is sometimes called being in or out of form. And while it's true that during that period they are performing better or worse than usual, taking their performances as a whole, it is often the case that these periods are most likely to simply be a run of good or bad luck. Another situation where the clustering illusion occurs is with diseases. There is a particular phenomenon called a cancer cluster, where you have a group of people within a geographic area who contract a particular form of cancer. While it is intuitively clear that if a number of people in the same workplace or village all contract the same type of cancer, that it is likely that there is some environmental risk factor causing this cluster of cancer. However, it's been found that only about 15% of cancer clusters reported are actually statistically significant, meaning that about 85% are just random occurrences. This means that an office where most of the women contract breast cancer is still more likely to simply be a result of random factors rather than anything to do with the office that they work in. Another example of the clustering illusion is the belief that bad things come in threes. A partial explanation for why we may believe this is that rare occasions of bad luck are more likely to cluster into groups of 3 than we would naively assume. In conclusion, the clustering illusion is the tendency to see clusters or streaks in random data as being significant. Until next week, may your mental mistakes be minor.